Alright, I'm back. Let's get on with it. Last role quest for Endwalker. Well, I got lucky with the ranged one. A little bit luckier than I did with melee DPS. And with Shadowbringers, I got lucky with, twice actually, with the magical DPS, the one I'm worst at. I don't know shit of what I'm doing as a black mage. Okay, but just like in my first playthrough of Shadowbringers from like almost 2 years ago, I still practiced my rotation and as I leveled it up and everything, right? All the way to 80 to do the role quest line. This time, I leveled it up ages ago and using just front lines, so I'm way less familiar with it. But I still did practice the rotation several times last night before bed. That's why I didn't come back to stream. But I'll still have to review like specific role actions to see if any of them might be needed. Like, you know, I pretty much called the fact that this one was going to be needed, Head Grace. So I'm glad I actually read what that did and used it, because it was necessary during that battle. But, you know, stuff like that. So I did review some stuff, and I did, you know, practice and learn the rotation for the most part. But it was only last night and a little bit this morning, so it could get ugly. But what I was getting at was that despite my lack of experience with Black Mage compared to all the other roles and jobs that I've played, I got lucky enough to actually beat that one in Shadowbringers almost 2 years ago. I beat that role quest line, the final battle in it, on the first try. By some miracle. Somehow I survived. Let's hope I get just as lucky this time around. But I'm not going to count on it. Not considering how much more difficult these role quest battles are than compared to Shadowbringers, I feel like it could get ugly. Things could get bad. I don't know. I'll do my best. It's one thing to practice your rotation and do it over and over on a target dummy, but in the heat of battle where you have to move and dodge mechanics, like I said, I think I just got really lucky with completing that one on the first try. The Shadowbringers one, almost 2 years ago. Obviously, I don't count this last playthrough because I already knew what was coming and everything. I more or less knew what to expect, but I compared to the Shadowbringers playthrough from 2 years ago because it was blind, like this. I didn't know what was coming. So I got incredibly lucky. That was my least practiced class, and the one that I had the hardest time with. I somehow won on my first try back then. But this time, well, you know what they say, luck runs out. Anyway, I showed off the classic gear already. Earlier, I don't know if it was yesterday or earlier this morning. Now for my proper Black Mage blend, which, oh crap, I don't think I have it anymore. I don't have it saved on a plate like I used to. I guess I'll have to go with a different one now. Like this one. The one that had the knock this shirt and the glove. Yeah, I forgot I removed that plate a long time ago. Oops. Oh well. I guess we'll just have to sub with this one. Whatever. Our aching souls. Ah, my Lord Leon! I have awaited your coming. You might not be bleeding back there. What the hell was that? I'm alright. The phenomenon wherein men turn into monsters. It pains to say that Ishgard has not been spared. Oh, I know. A dread blasphemy has appeared in the Holy See, and to compound the people's horror, the beast resembles a dragon. Imperative that it be vanquished without delay. Excuse me, and to that end we have begun assembling a hunting party. I drank quite a bit of water, so I just finished what I had left, basically. In my water bottle. Given that fear and despair may turn our allies against us, we are being stringent in whom we choose for this duty. Yet while we have confidence in the quality of our knights, the mission would greatly benefit for the presence of a battle mage, one who can stand unflinching in the face of our fell enemy. We would be hard-pressed to find an individual who fits that description better than you. Will you not lend us your strength and skill? You can count on me. Just be a dick. Oh, very well. Like, you just be reluctant. You complete asshole. I love that they give you that option. To give your character the personality you want them to have. It's nice. We are in your debt. Just a moment while I relay the glad tidings to command. Mushy mushy. What's up, bitch? What? Every time I get No, not every time, but no, yeah, it's just a coincidence. It's weird that I was emotional when I left, and after my 10-minute break, I come back and I'm like all giddy and giggly and making stupid jokes. It's settled. Upon arriving in Ishgard, please take yourself to the Aetheryte Plaza. Lord Arturel will be there to receive you. May the Fury speed your way. I'm calling it. The party for this is going to be Emmerich, Arturel, and Emandaline. That's going to be our party for the quest battle. But at the same time, it's not much of a fucking prediction, right? It's kind of obvious. Who else are we going to fight alongside with? It's her again. Didn't we see her before? Feels very familiar. Milady. Safe travels. I think we saw her in Limzo. If not, it was someone with a very, very similar clan. What the hell? Oh right, I never unlocked... Why didn't I do it? Is this the one? Let me check real quick. I'm not gonna do it, but... Oh yeah, I didn't. I guess I did that on the other Leon. Oops. But I did it on stream, I do remember that, so I'm not gonna do that again right now. Showing the housing district in Pyrian.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Leon! I have been expecting you. Words cannot well express how heartening it is to have you fighting beside us. Allow me to echo that sentiment. There he is. Our boy Emmerich.
Dylan!
Alright. Enough of that. Greetings, my friend. Lest you wonder, Lord Arturel and I are leading the effort to deal with the blasphemy. With your capable self in the fold, I have no doubt that we shall succeed. Right on. Without further ado, I shall brief you on the situation. With a handful of days after the first beasts appeared in Ratathan. Not the shape. Yeah, we saw this guy in the cutscene, yeah. I remember this guy, just like the guy from Alamigo. The cutscene I'm referring to is the one right after Charlian, right after we defeated Zodiark. Right before Ratathan, went black on the map or whatever. We saw these guys in that cutscene when they were showing that the final days were starting. An elephant man was observed at the hoplon in the pillars, walking with an unsteady gait. All of a sudden, he buckled over as if in pain, and before anyone knew what was happening, he had transformed into a terrible draconic beast. Of course. Holy shit, he's huge! At the mere sight of this, many who chanced to be present also turned, and regrettably the temple knights were forced to put them down. I see what oh yeah, this one right here and that one right there. The ones from the trailer. One of the more prominent ones from the trailer. The blasphemy itself, however, took wing and fled. Profane Fafnir, we have chosen to call it, after the dragon man of Ishgardian myth. Since that day, the beast has oft been sighted in the skies above Ishgard. It does not attack, only circles menacingly for a time ere disappearing again. Alas, these brief visitations are enough to cause more people to turn and for fear and panic to spread further. As part of our investigation, we have sought to identify the man who became the blasphemer, but thus far we have learned naught. That's the problem, after they turn, you don't know shit about them anymore, because they'll never look the same again, so it's like, who the fuck was that? If you didn't know them before, it's fucked. We have, however, identified a common thread between those who subsequently turned. All were people of fervent faith. People such as priests and inquisitors. The hell? When the truth of our nation's history was laid bare, the legitimacy of the church was called into question. And they haven't been able to get over it, basically. They're still in despair about it. Many Ishgardians struggled to reconcile the revelations with their beliefs, and none more so than the pious. Right. It makes sense, yeah. Such men and women, we posit, would be more susceptible to despair, and therefore the transformation. We must find a way to stop it. Ishgard has only just emerged from a 1,000-year war, and we cannot suffer another great tragedy, much less so soon. In order to attain a better understanding of the situation, we intend to speak with a member of the clergy. The sole individual who survived witnessing the blasphemy's burst without being turned. Clem is his name, and he is a deacon at St. Raymonod's Cathedral. Come, let us seek him out there at once. You know, I guess I never really got to the main point. I kind of forgot it when I was talking earlier about how my experience with the role quest was with Shadowbringers almost 2 years ago. Well, let's just say a year and a half ago. Closer to, yeah. What I was getting at was the fact that I think it was the only one that, ironically, the class I knew the least, Black Mage, was the only one I actually beat on the first try. And I think I actually died at least once on all other role quest battles for Shadowbringers on my first playthrough. All of them. I'm pretty sure I either died or just failed to protect somebody or something like that happened, basically. And the class I sucked at the most was the one I survived the first try. It's like, what? Kind of weird how that worked out. But in general, I wasn't I was very much inexperienced way back then. I had only been playing this game for a few months. I still got, like, overwhelmed easily with, tunnel vision on my hotbar and yada yada. Things that I still do, but I'm able to temper myself, and, I'm overall a little bit of a better player now than I was way back then. Here he is, Deacon Clem. Let us see what he can tell us. Not so very long ago, few would have imagined Ishgardian knights marching beyond the bounds of their own dominion. But we have entered to the heart of Garlemald and fought for no less than the fate of the world itself. Our nation has changed and continues to do so. Indeed. Let's just stand over here. I'm going to ask you some questions. I want you to answer them immediately. It's too bad they already used that in MSQ. Or no, that side quest we did in Rotahan. Who is your daddy, and what does he do? Lord Emmerich, Lord Arturo, and the savior of Ishgard besides. You do me great honor. I am Clem, and I serve as a deacon here at St. Raymonod's Cathedral. I understand you were among those at the Hoplon when the incident occurred. We give thanks to the Fury for your merciful preservation. We now seek to prevent the blasphemy from wreaking further havoc, and would appreciate any details you can provide. Loath that we are to make you recall unpleasant memories, will you not recount to us what you witnessed that day? If we don't have a live witness, at least one, for each of these blasphemies, we would never have had the chance to actually get to the bottom of, like, who they were and what the hell's going on. Very well. We are presently relocating the vault's libraries to the cathedral, in case you were unaware. We had finished delivering a batch of tomes, and were on our way to bring over another. As we approached the Hoplon, we noticed a young man walking unsteadily. No sooner had he come to an abrupt halt than he transformed into a draconic beast. The fiend fixed us with a menacing glare, and it was all we could do to find our wits and flee. But to my compounding horror, my brethren who were with me began turning into monstrosities as well, one after another. Because he turned into the very symbol of what was basically the devil and, their faith that they had here. For 1,000 years, dragons were pretty much that, the devil to them, basically. So, of course, they see a sudden transformation of a horrible, beastly dragon like that, and they freak the hell out, and their faith made them fall into despair, and there you go. Praise the Fury that you, at least, were spared, Deacon Clem. I cannot imagine how frightening the experience must have been. Who's this? Bishop Vartano! Or Vartana? I don't know how they pronounce it in that case. Forgive me if I interrupt. I was informed that our stalwart protectors were present and wish to express my gratitude. Do you have a chipped tooth, or is the graphics just the lighting really weird? From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for your service. I pray that we shall soon be free of this scourge. Indeed, if there is aught we might do to aid your efforts, you need but say it. You are most kind, Your Grace. Hmm. That was Bishop Vartano, the head of St. Raymonod's and a member of the Synod. With the seat of the Archbishop vacant, he is, in effect, the highest authority in the Ashgardian Orthodox Church. This is so. Yet in spite of his elevated station, he remains as kind and humble as a man as any I have ever known. Excuse me. Like his grace, I will do all that I can to help shepherd our people through this uncertain time. To that end, there is a request I would make of you, if you can spare a moment to consider it. Of course. If it is within our power, we should be glad to offer you aid. Thank you. The deacon was no less terrified by the blasphemy than his peers, yet he alone did not turn. By what grace was he spared? What manner of request could this be? His tone bespeaks urgency. In the wake of the transformations, a group of clergymen fled the city in fear. Yet though they sought refuge in the wilderness, they put themselves at the mercy of the elements and fell fiends both. Given that the cause of the transformation is not clear, I think theirs was a decidedly unwise decision. I wish to set out and find them, but I am not trained in the ways of war. As such, I require those who are to accompany me in the search. So that is the way of it. Suffice it to say, we will help. Do you know whither your fellows may have headed? Okay, I got that right. The Western Highlands, I believe. Between Gorgagni Mills and Hemlock, there is no shortage of abandoned dwellings in the area. Very well. Time being of the essence, I propose we split up and scour separate areas. Leon, if you could escort the good deacon to Gorgagni Mills, Lord Arturel and I will tend to Hemlock. Excuse me. Alright. Well, the first quest battle usually has a little bit of action. I'm gonna need Crispy Kernel for this. I mentioned that this is kind of random, but I mentioned how they played, Endwalker music in the last role quest line we just did, the ranged DPS one. And the name of the song was Finality. And I found out the song for the mini bosses in the dungeons, the one that I like a little bit better, a lot better, I won't lie, is called On Blade's Edge. It's like, oh shit. I must have listened to it, I don't know, 50 times before, it probably hasn't been that many, but still, I must have listened to it so many times before realizing that was the title. Because I was trying to be careful not to Google something that would spoil something for me as I was looking for the song. So, I found out the song thing really late, but I was like, that is a perfect title for the emotion it evokes, which is why I like it so much. On the edge of a knife, essentially, that old saying. That you should choose to abide in such harsh conditions. Yeah, it evokes that emotion of, like, uncertainty if you're gonna make it or not, and it's like, you gotta hold on and, not give up until the last, right? That whole thing. It's a good song. Taking notes. Like, well, there you go, yeah, in case anybody here didn't know the names of those songs, now you do. But yeah, take notes. You! Ah, I see you found them. What's up, dude? Yes, and none the worse for the wear, thank the Fury. My friends, forgive us if we have given cause for alarm. We come out of concern for your well-being. Though we understand why you quit the city, we fear you may have placed yourselves at greater risk by coming here. His Grace Bishop Vartano, too, worries for your health and prays for your swift return. So please, will you not allow us to escort you to the Holy See? I assure you, you will be much safer there than in this wretched place. servants of the Fury will never be safe in the city, don't you see? Uh-oh, here we go. Excuse me. This is your fault! You and your accursed revolution! The people disdain us, mock us behind our backs, and spit in our faces. Fuck. This is very similar to what happened to Hien. And now someone is conspiring to transform us into monstrosities. Enemies of the church, I'll wager, emboldened by your deeds. So no, I will not go back to Ishgard. I'd sooner freeze to death than suffer your pity. Well. What? All I've ever done was in service to her. I am a good man. I do not... She cannot forsake me. How long they preserve? I didn't know they were actually going to go, ah, but there you go. Oh, he's running away. Have they, did I miss something, or have they explained why they wanted a magical DPS? They said they wanted a battle mage for something. I think it was only the person that Razapan said it. But this, they haven't said anything about why they wanted a battle mage. I don't think so. Leon, we cannot allow him to harm any others. That is the perfect emote for that sound effect, yeah. Give chase and do what you must. We will remain here and keep the others calm. Alright. Time to see if practicing that rotation had any benefit. Deacon Clem, please do what you can to reassure them. Yes, of course. All shall be well, my friends. Come, join me in prayer. At least they didn't succumb with him. Not right away. Do not worry about us. See to the beast. It cannot have gotten far. Right. Alright, Archwell, I'm on it. There it is. Time to watch my training go all out the window. Alright, here we go. The will of the Archbishop is absolute. The wicked shall be punished. That was one too many. Oh. Okay, for the most part it was alright. Look at that pose though. It's so cocky. Oh, let me see that. Oh, that works better if I actually have gloves on, I think. The laugh. The evil laugh. The one that women get when they do the victory. Because I've seen women, black mages do the victory pose. It's so taunting, you know? It's so much more like, taunting than that one. That one just seems cocky, and that one is all, you know, for women it's also cocky as well, obviously, but like, it's more like they're taunting the hell out of whoever they're targeting when they do it. It's amazing. What of the beast? Take care of it. All shall be well, my friends. Come, join me in prayer. The formula, right? You always fight like a monster or two in the first quest, and then you don't get any action. Well, not always, but usually don't get any more action until the quest battle at the very end. Is it done, Leon? I took care of it, yeah. My thanks. What happened is most regrettable, but we must be grateful that no one else came to harm. While you were gone, the deacon was able to convince the others to return to the city. Let's escort them back at once, and then reconvene at the congregation to consider our next course of action. For our purposes, we have the use of the strategy room. Announce yourself to the guard without, and he will show you in. Alright. Lords Emmerich and Arturel await you within the strategy room. Will you be joining them now? Yes. My good sir, I will. Damn. Too far away. Denied. Here we shall discuss our plans to deal with the blasphemy. Whensoever you wish to enter, you need but say so to the guard. It's okay. Keep that in mind. What do they chose here? Lest you wonder, we have taken the clergyman to St. Raymonaude's to rest and recover. If truth be told, the thought that they may still succumb to despair in turn remains at the forefront of my mind. Yet the risk would be greater still were we to keep them at arm's length and deny them the comfort of the church. I know, it's so... God, it's like... worse than a zombie apocalypse, where like you just keep someone who's bitten away from everybody else. Here, that's not a thing. It's anyone can literally turn just from their psychological state of mind, you know? It's like, if you take them to the infirmary and then they succumb to despair, it endangers everybody else there who's sick. It's like... But even if it wasn't the infirmary or a hospital, it's the same, it's like, damn. So difficult. Indeed, from the words he spoke, that Inquisitor yearned for the days of old. He and others like him can scarcely be blamed. Since the truth of the nation's founding and the Archbishop's machinations were made public knowledge, the Church has been in turmoil. Though we have made great strides in separating religion and state, there has been far less progress in the reformation of the Church. For our faith has been everything to us, our purpose and our comfort. It is not an easy thing to reconcile one's beliefs with the betrayal of our spiritual leaders, especially when it was so recent. Thus, torn between their hearts and minds, many Ishgardians feel lost, and none more so than members of the clergy, whose faith was once unshakable. Little wonder, then, that the most dedicated and devout are like to turn. Yeah. So it seems, but further investigation is needed ere we draw a definite conclusion. With the war's end, Ishgard has set out on a new path. The choices we make now shall determine our course for the future. Come what may, we dare not squander the chance we have fought so hard to attain. Once the returned clergymen have sufficiently calmed down, I shall have the deacon speak with them that we might gain insight into their individual plights. Good. Meanwhile, I shall take the opportunity to brief my men on recent developments. There you go. Pray take a moment's rest, my friend. You have earned it. When you are ready to continue our work, you may seek us out here. Tales of loss and fire and flames. See, they always leave. The leader of the country you're at when you're doing these role quests, they always disappear at the end of each quest. No forgiveness, no deliverance. They always walk out. Ah, Leon, your timing could not be better. Deacon Clem has finished speaking with the rescued clergyman and will be here shortly to share his findings. Lord Emmerich too is on his way. Let us wait for them. Deacon Clem, we thank you for making the inquiries on our behalf. There's no imposition in the least. As I said, I am glad to do all I can. Though, 'tis our understanding that those we escorted back were all close acquaintances of the Inquisitor who turned. Like him, they too had been the subject of harassment by certain quarters of the populace. Which is correct. It is, I am afraid, and they are far from alone. Men of the cloth were once afforded respect and deference as servants of Helone, but now they are openly reviled by many. We were complicit in perpetuating terrible lies, this is true, but we too were misled. We too are victims, yet we are regarded by some as criminals. Yeah, it's kind of tragic, honestly, and obviously unfair. Well, do I understand the people's anger, but it saddens me to think that they would thus lash out at their fellow man, especially when we need solidarity most of all. I can imagine your plight. I would not presume to fully grasp your pain. Will you tell us of the challenges you and yours have had to face since the war's end? House Champ? Like all sons and daughters of Ishgard, we dreamed of peace in our lifetime. But now that it has come, we find we have little cause to rejoice. Our faith has long been the foundation of our lives, and overnight that foundation has been crippled by fractures, beyond repair for some. To learn that we had been deceived, and that we had unwittingly deceived others in turn, was devastating. We who had once been shepherds to men found ourselves lost lambs, bereft of surety and wanting for guidance. We have languished in darkness, all of us. Damn. Yet I have faith that the Church will redeem itself, that it will find a new path and again become a beacon of hope for the people. I see. Thank you for sharing this with us. Your testimony has confirmed our suspicions. According to our allies, that which causes people to turn is none other than their despair and anguish. If it wasn't before, it is now abundantly clear why members of the clergy are among the transformed. That you did not, I believe, is due to your unwavering faith in the Church. In light of this, we would ask for your continued cooperation. Of course, anything to help my brethren. Now that we have established the cause, that leaves us with the mystery of profane Fafnir's identity. The progenitor of these troubles. Could he too have been a man of the cloth? From what I recall of his garb, I doubt it. He was dressed in the common fashion, and inadequately against the cold besides. It is said that something of the individual may remain in the blasphemy, influencing its behavior. If we can determine what instincts drive profane Fafnir, we may learn who it once was. And this knowledge, I believe, will prove vital in our efforts to stop it. Yeah? Deacon Clem, we ask that you reach out to your fellow clergymen. Please do what you can to ease their anxieties. Excuse me. Understood. As I have ever done, I shall provide what comfort I can to those in need. Meanwhile, we must make it a priority to identify the blasphemy. To that end, I would seek out more eyewitnesses. The Hoplon is a busy place at any given time. Some ordinary citizens are bound to have been present as that tragic event unfolded. I propose we make inquiries in the pillars. If you could attend to the Hoplon, Lord Arturel and I will look in the surrounding areas. Okay. How are you? Oh shit! We got Mr. Robocop over here. I don't know. That's the closest thing it reminded me of. No, I didn't see that dragon. Nor would I have wished to, frightful as it sounds. They say it wasn't a Dravanian attack. But if not, then what was it? I am honestly surprised more people aren't more freaked out at that possibility. They're like, oh no, the war's back on! I wasn't pressed for the incident at the Hoplon, but a young man poorly dressed for the cold, that I did see. I recall him well because an aide from St. Vandro's was searching for him. He was a patient at the infirmary and by coincidence had the same name. Interesting. Oh wait, there's no easy right for that one. Just gotta run. I suppose the other one was a little closer, but... I mean, splitting hairs here. There it is. The dragon that appeared at the Hoplon? Aye, I saw it with my own eyes. One moment an Elysian, the next a terrible beast. He was a heretic, I take it? See, that's the kind of conclusion I would figure some people were going to get to, because dragon's blood had a similar effect, right? Oh wait, I'm getting debated. It's not that way. It's back the way we came. Damn, no movement skills. Feels bad, man. Gotta huff it. Were you able to learn anything? Of course. I got some shit. There you are, Leon. Did your search yield any fruit? Yeah. A patient of the Firmament's infirmary, you say? Among those with whom I spoke, one claims to have witnessed an individual fitting that description. A man walking in a stupor who did not seem to feel the cold. If he had wandered straight out of the infirmary, it would explain his state of attire. Yes, I dare say we have found our blasphemy. But to think that his name should be Vandro, or Vaindro, is the same as that of former Heaven's Board Commander Sir Vaindro de Rochemont, for whom the infirmary is named. Oh, I see. Sir Vaindro, however, retired from his station at a ripe old age some years ago. It is not like to have been him. In any case, we have a lead. I shall head to the infirmary at once. Pray wait for me in the room. Alright. Go wait for the man. Brooms. Again with the super duper fucking fast teleports here. Lord Arturel should not be long. Let us wait here. Aye. This is Loverick, the aide who was in charge of Vaindro. Have you found him? Oh, please say you have. We have not, I'm afraid. But we seek to and hope that you could tell us more about him. And we ask how he came to be at the infirmary. He was found by a patrol in the Central Highlands. After being treated for his hurts, he was brought to us for convalescence. Being in the prime of his years, he had been doing well, but then... Prime of his years. By all accounts, he is no old man. It seems safe to assume it isn't Sir Vandro. Oh no, he's definitely a different person, as I told Lord Arturel. And though he gave his name as Vaindro, he seemed rather confused, and we had no means to confirm his identity. In his state, he shouldn't be wandering about on his own. Please, you must find him. Well, that's kind of what we're trying to do, but... The man who recently turned into a beast at the Hoplon. We regret to say it may have been Vaindro. What? No. How can this be? Is there aught else you can tell us? Things he may have said or done while in your care? While he was still unconscious, he would often ramble, but most of it was incoherent. He mentioned the Archbishop many times. That sounds like me, except for that last part. My incoherent rambling? Yeah. Oh, and he spoke of a bishop, too. Bishop Bartanov. I assumed he was a pious man, given this. I see. Thank you for your cooperation. We will continue our investigation, and should we confirm what became of Angel, I'll inform you forthwith. Let us return to the congregation for now. Right. My good sir? Gentlemen? It always sounds plural, even though it can be used singular. What could this Vanger be? The mystery remains, but we are one step closer to identifying the man who became Profane Fafnir. Indeed. Though he did not at first appear to be a member of the clergy, his words betray a fervent faith. And how curious that he should speak not only of the Archbishop, but Bishop Bartanov specifically. Leon's like, what about it? We got no leads, like, we're clueless right now. Perhaps he was personally acquainted with his grace. In light of the possibility, I believe we should speak with him directly. Agreed. I will request an audience, but his grace has many demands upon his time. It may be a while before we are seen. If you have other business, pray feel free to attend to them in the meantime. Hey. Hey, me. Oh, girl? Gentlemen? Only justice, only vengeance. Getting dark. Leon, excellent timing as ever. Deacon Clem has just sent word that Bishop Vartanol will see us now. By which I mean right this instant. It's extremely short notice, I know, but it would not do to miss the opportunity to learn how he and Vangel may be connected, excuse me. Not wishing to keep his grace waiting, Lord Emmerich is already on his way to St. Raymond's Cathedral. Come, let us hurry there ourselves. Lead the way, my good sir. Something about Ishgard. They're always so fast. Seems his grace has yet to arrive. Ah, Leon. So glad am I that you could join us. Of course. What's the business? My lords, I am so sorry. I informed his grace that you were making your way hither. But shortly before you arrived, he recalled that he had urgent business and had to leave the cathedral at once. He cannot have yet gone far, though, so if you wish to search for him in the hope you can still steal a moment of his time, to grant us an audience only to depart with such haste. What business could be so pressing? His grace has yet to return, I am afraid. Okay, just step outside. Oh lord. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. Oh, wait, never mind. Went the right way first. I found his grace, Leon. I see that. Gentlemen? Well now, not even the savior of Ishgard should be here. Little nervous around me? What's wrong? Your grace, perhaps 'tis simply our misunderstanding, but we were under the impression that you had granted us an audience. Lord Speaker, rest assured I was just about to return to the cathedral. Really? There is no need, Your Grace. This will not take long. As you may have heard, we are investigating a young man named Devendra. Is he known to you? No, I cannot say he is. With the exception of the former... What? Archimandrite? I am sure I know no one by that name. But mine and the Archbishop's are known to many, yes? Perhaps this youth took inspiration from public services over which we presided. Goodly soul that he is. Full glad am I that his face was of comfort to him in sickness, and I pray to Helone that he will soon be found in good health. Now then, if there was nothing else, I shall return to my duties. Here we go. Yeah, find out this fool's secrets. The hell's he hiding? What the hell's going on here? Fear not, Your Eminence. I shall carry on your legacy. We have completed the preparations as per your instructions, but are you certain this will work? It will. It must. Lord Emmerich spoke the truth when he revealed the Archbishop sought primal powers to strengthen the people's faith. I could not bring myself to believe it, not at first, but in the course of cataloging His Eminence's personal articles, I came upon his journal. Therein, he had written that, through abundant ether and fervent prayer, it is possible to make gods of men. All the power we require lies in this place, this Azisla, by channeling the essential elements into the soulless flesh and sword we found. I forgot the body was part of it too, yeah. The dragoon guy who established the nation, the old King Thordan, right? We shall summon forth King Thordan and his knights 12, and by his blessing Ishgard shall be restored to its former glory. Repeating the same thing. And hoping to achieve different results. Well, they might actually get different results, but it might not be what they want. What is this? It's just an ordinary man, scarcely changed from before. Oh shit. Did you bring this fool back to life? What the fuck? Or maybe he just wasn't dead to begin with? Oh, His Eminence. I must protect. Cloned Ellison. No. No, this isn't right. Confound it. Perhaps I overlooked something. I must return to the Holy See and review the journal. Your Grace, what shall we do with this thing? Leave it. It is a failure without use or value. The denizens of this place will deal with it soon enough. Makes me wonder how they got past all of it. This is some freaky shit. Phone the elephant. Leon, are you well? Were you perchance granted a vision of the past? Yep. This dude is shady. That guy's face. An attempted summoning of King Thornton and his Knights 12? We got you now, asshole. Your Grace, you should know full well that summoning is strictly forbidden. You will accompany us to the congregation and explain yourself. Stay cool. I have dedicated my life to the church, conducted my affairs in accordance with the scriptures, and taught others to do likewise. But you took it all from us, tore down everything that defined us. Oh, here we go. You cannot know how it feels to have your very existence rejected, to be forsaken by your community, to be denied by your society. You bastard! Well, I deny you and this justice. I deny an escort where the church has no place. I refuse to accept it, do you hear me? I refuse to accept it! Holy hell! Right here in town, too. Again. Shit. Your Grace! No! Damn. So much for a peaceful resolution with that guy. That it should come to violence yet again. Would that your hand had not been forced, my lord. Dude, the jump slash, though. He's struck with extreme prejudice. Deacon Clem should not be alone at this time. I shall remain with him while tending to the aftermath. When things have settled, I will return to the congregation. Pray go on ahead and get some rest. Okay. The sad music. This place. How fares the deacon? Well enough, given the circumstances. Though understandably shaken, he is more determined than ever to help his fellows. Truly he is possessed of a stout heart. But to think that even a member of the Synod could succumb to despair in turn. The crisis gripping the church is far graver than I had imagined. In pushing for such an abrupt separation of religion and state, we may have exacerbated the growing divide between the clergy and the general populace. Unfortunately. Transitioning to a new form of society is always a delicate matter, yeah. Abrupt changes tend to shock people and cause problems like this, yeah. Leon, will you recount in full that which you witnessed in your vision? that he should seek to use one of Ally's unholy abominations to create a primal. Yet that which manifested was not like the being you fought, but rather retained the form of a man, one driven by the desire to protect the Archbishop. Yeah. We may safely assume the bishop did not have sufficient ether. Bereft of Nidhogg's eye, the sword Ascalon no longer has such power. Nor does that of the Warring Triad remain to be harnessed. Wait, yeah. Thanks to your valorous intervention. Oh, I'm guessing that line wouldn't be there if we hadn't done the Warring Triad quest line. But if the summoning failed, how did the clone come to possess life? And what purpose drives it? Lack of ether notwithstanding, the necessary components were present for a summoning. Perhaps the ritual itself was a success, and the vessel, though imperfect, arose as a champion of the Archbishop. Yet, how did he come to be in the Central Highlands? You believe that this clone and the man who became the blasphemy are one and the same? Excuse me? Nay, I merely speculate. And again. Yet, considering what we know of the clone and Vaindrew, it would seem a likely possibility. Whatever the truth may be, it will not elude us forever. But first, I must lay some groundwork for the next phase of our investigation. God's permitting, I will have news to share ere long, so pray look in on us when you can. Oh, that was a little head tilt. Wills unending, faith unbending. Like poetry. Like a song. These quest titles. Yeah. Like lyrics and verses of a song. Leon, you are ever a sight for sore eyes. Well, thanks, man. And here comes Emmerich, I bet. And we're all together again. Gentlemen? Ill tidings, my friends. Oh. I dispatched the Temple Knights to find the clergyman who aided in Bishop Vartanaw's summoning attempt. Regrettably, when confronted, all turned and had to be put down. Without their accounts, how then to ascertain that the clone and Vaindrew are the same individual? Maintaining the assumption that they are, perhaps we should instead consider how Vaindrew may have found his way to Kurthus. According to Leon's vision, he was abandoned in Azisla. But what did he do afterwards? Came here. Then there is but one way to ascertain the truth. We follow his trail. I shall go and search for the clone in Azisla. If he is still there, then we are dealing with a different individual. A splendid idea. We leave the floating continent in your capable hands. Meanwhile, Leon and I shall retrace Vaindrew's steps whence he first appeared. Upon being found in the Central Highlands, he was taken to Camp Dragonhead. Let's begin by making inquiries there. Gentlemen? We each have our tasks. Azisla's kind of eerie. It's interesting to see that those church people in now Artorel just kind of go there like it's nothing almost. Kind of eerie. All abandoned and just filled with robots and bioweapons from the Alliance. So it was a little more strange that church people went there without any protection, really. Well now, if it isn't the late Lord Harshapon's dear friend. Is there something you require? Ah yes, the mystery man. I was among those who tended him. He was not caught attired for the snow, much less the snowstorm in which he had been caught, and was suffering from frostbite. When people are extremely cold, they may mistakenly feel that they are warm and disrobed. Oh yeah, I can feel really hot after, yeah, you're right. That might explain his state of undress. Your exchange with Nin has taught you about Vaindrow's state when he was found. We took care of the man as best we could, but given his state, I expect he will need a long convalescence before he's back on his feet. People will think that they're really hot and they'll Unrobe. Interesting. Whoa. What? Lil Devo. That is not who I was trying to target. Hmm? Investigating the stranger we found, are you? I wasn't involved myself, so I can't tell you much about the fellow. But in case it is of interest, earlier the same day I caught sight of an airship flying dangerously low, and it soon disappeared into the brewing snowstorm, looking none too steady. Your exchange with Theobelin has taught you about an airship flying low. I do wonder what that airship was about, and what became of it. I don't believe we were expecting any to pass through that day. So ask air traffic control. I'll know something. Ah, 'tis ever an honor to receive you. What brings you to our humble camp this day? An injured man who was found out in the wilds? Yes, I know the one. I was with the patrol that chanced into him north of here at Providence Point. He was unconscious and in a bad way, and we hurriedly bore him back to camp. After doing what we could for him, we sent him on to the city. Your exchange with Yale has taught you about where Vaindrew was found. Indeed. You got black chocobos for us. We flying? There you are. Were you able to learn aught of interest? Well, I got a note concerning where Vaindrew was found. A hastily written note which reads, Vaindrew found unconscious on Providence Point. Airship sighted flying low near Camp Dragonhead. And Vaindrew not dressed for the cold. Here you go. My notes. A mysterious man found collapsed after an airship was seen flying low. Yes, the accounts I heard are consistent with yours. I for one am curious about the fate of this unknown airship. To that end, I have arranged a pair of black chocobos for us, the more efficiently to scour the area. We shall contain our search to Providence Point, where Vaindrew is said to have been found. Right on, let's get on with it. If you are ready, let us be off. Do it! I love that we can just sit back and relax and it's on autopilot. Boy, here we are, the future, flying cars. Automated flying cars. That would be quite something. Holy shit. Can't even get the ones on the ground right yet. That's very far off. Unfortunately. Nothing so far. Let us continue northeast. Lead the way, my friend. This is a little eerie now because it's dark. Can't see shit ahead of us. Yeah, it's getting a little monka-esque. There it is, right next to the airship. So that has to be that clone from the flashback, yeah. The clone of Vaindrew. Came back and wasn't pleased with seeing the state of Ishgard, I'm guessing? Oh! It's starting to come together. Vaindrew came back and found out that the Knights 12 were disgraced along with the church. And, since he's a clone of the old Vaindrew from a long time ago, that obviously made him feel like shit, and that's why he transformed. Ah, it makes sense. By the Fury. It's the blasphemy. Well, now it's time to confirm what I just said, I guess. Yeah, can you imagine fighting bravely for a cause, dying, and then... Well, I guess it's technically not the same person, right? It's a clone, but if it has the memories of that person, it's like... It's almost like that same person waking up in the future and seeing that the cause they fought for was corrupt and their names are now tarnished and all that. Of course they're gonna fall into despair and... Yeah, it makes sense. His Eminence. Must protect His Eminence. Or it could just be that hearing that King Thornton died was what set him, you know, sent him down spiraling into despair. Ah, you're finally awake. Halone be praised. What did it die? How are you feeling? Strong enough to speak? Can you tell me your name? My name is Zephyrin. No, Charlie. Or was it Belgian? Halsbrand? I don't even know if I'm saying these fucking names right. He does look like Zephyrin, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, the guy who killed Harshfont. He does look like him, yeah. So many names swirling in my mind, and voices that reject them. Is there none they will accept? Are you alright? Memories of himself as an old man or something? Vaindra. My name is Vaindra. Well now, that's the same as our infirmary. I dare say fate has guided you to us. So, Vaindro, if you are feeling up to a little conversation, can you tell me about yourself? Anything else you remember? Anything at all? Proud son of House Mile, nay, a devout servant of Polone, who lives for the rush of battle? The pleasure in inflicting pain, the attentions of maidens, the fight beside my brother in arms. Like he has multiple people's memories or something swirling around in his head. That's as fucked up as Cloud is in FF7. A lowborn runt, whose every effort went unrewarded. His very name disqualified him from ever leading the Temple Knights. But His Eminence raised me up, granted me a place at his side. In that day forth, I pledged my sword to his service. Pledged my very being, my life to be offered up in his defense of his. I am a knight of the Heaven's Ward, sworn to protect and serve the Archbishop. Uh-oh. Oh, you're a knight? Forgive me if that sounded rude, but I had no idea. And while I realize your memories may be a bit muddled, I'm afraid I must inform you that the Heaven's Ward have not been seen in quite some time and are presumed dead. And the Archbishop, well, he is most certainly no longer of this world. And that's what shocked him, and sent him spiraling. But the important thing is you're safe now, and we'll help you get back on your feet. Speaking of which, let me bring some food and water. You must be absolutely famished. There he goes. The Archbishop. Dead? No. No, this cannot be. How can I still be alive when he is not? I must find him. There he goes. Yeah, I remember this guy pretty well. From that cutscene. When the final days started. Leon! What's up? Holy shit! should have done.
Ah!
I don't use those enough. For the glory of King Thornton.
Ah!
It almost kind of fit. Almost. Another vision, I take it? Hmm? It's amazing I haven't been killed from how vulnerable those leave me. Let us make for Ishgard. I expect that Lord Artuel will return soon, if he has not already. And we should both be glad to hear your tale. Okay. Off we go then. Wait, I'm not even in Foundation yet. There we go. Heading to the strategy room? I should be glad to show you in. Please. Ah, Leon. I pray your search was more productive than mine own. Yeah, forgot this fool was off, fucking searching Ozzy's law top to bottom while we were, Poor guy, we should have told him. Should have had like a link pro and told him we, found that dragon. Everyone is here. Excellent. So, were you able to find our clone in Ozzy's law? Nay, not but the discarded Ascalon remain. I've heard you with your own efforts in the Central Highlands. In the course of retracing Vaindro's steps, we came upon the wreck of the Soleil. I suspect he found the vessel abandoned in Ozzy's law and tried to use it to return to Ishgard. But he crashed en route and was subsequently rescued by a patrol from Camp Dragonhead. The Soleil was the airship that King Thornton used, basically. I always wondered what the hell happened to that thing. Well, now we know. Another pothole closed. So it would seem, and the Archbishop's airship was not the only thing we found. Profane Fafnir was there too. The creature chose to flee, but not before Leon had a vision of Vaindro's past. Go on, my friend. Share with us what you witnessed. Pleasure. Gentlemen, it went like this. Well, we're mainly telling... Well, I guess we haven't really told him either, yeah. Never mind. It works. All the pieces fit, and it is as you surmised, my lord. Vaindro and the clone are one and the same, and in his despair he turned into the blasphemy. Yet the confusion he exhibited when asked his name is as if he wasn't sure of his own identity. According to the Scions, primals retain the memories of their previous incarnations. From this, it may be assumed that the clone harbors the memories of all those who became king, or King Thornton and his Knights 12. Though he struggled to reconcile these conflicting memories, he managed to settle on the name Vaindro. The voices within were clearly in agreement when facing Leon, the mere sight of whom drove the blasphemy to flee. Above all, however, they share in the desire to protect the Archbishop. This desire was seared into Vaindro's very being, and when he learned that he no longer had a purpose, the Heavens Ward took up arms against us in Ishgard. By their hand were we robbed of one of our finest knights and a dear friend. Even so, I would not wish such a terrible fate upon them. The self-same fate inflicted upon full many clergymen, and the fate I fear ordinary citizens will succumb to if we fail to act. The people will not soon forget the betrayal of our church's leadership, nor should they. But absent the comfort and stability once afforded to them by the institution, many have become lost, and are all too vulnerable to despair. Damn, these are both good answers, but... But people don't have to forget, but they need to move forward. Oh shit! It's the music that says we're about to do something awesome. I thought as much myself, friend, but to hear you say it as well? Indeed, when the ground upon which we stand crumbles, we must find the strength to move forward. Even should it cause us pain to do so. Right. Lord Arturel, at the next house session, I shall call for an... Oh my... What is that word? Ecumenical council to be held. What is with all the new vocab words that were added to this expansion I've never seen in previous ones? What the hell does that mean? My lord, such a gathering is reserved for... Oh! You intend for the church to codify a new doctrine. About fucking time. Uh-oh, what was the word again? Oh shit. I lost it. Can be saved though. I'll look it up later though, we gotta go. Since the separation of religion and state, we have refrained from interfering in church affairs. But if the church is to remain a part of Ishgardian society and continue serving the people, it must reconsider its role and formally address recent revelations. I would call for this council not as the Lord's Speaker, but as a humble adherent of the faith. Long had I considered whether such measures were necessary, but lacked the courage to set them in motion. I now have it thanks to you. Happy to be of service yet again to Ishgard. No problem, buddy. I shall tend to the necessary preparations at once. Among other things, we must reach out to those of the clergy who are amenable to reform. I ask for your patience in the meantime. Cool. Alright. Let me see, what the hell was that? Wrong button. It said, ecumenical. There we go. What the hell does this mean? Representing what? Why is it so quiet? Wait, really? The E is silent? It's ecumenical? Representing a number of different Christian churches. Oh, I get it. Promoting or relating to unity among the world's Christian churches. Makes sense. I mean, it's not hard to tell. You know. They're obviously just referring to the church in general here. But yeah, obviously, the faith here in Ishgard was like... It has themes of like Catholicism in it and stuff. That makes sense. Almighty Fury, guide us to victory. The song continues. More coconut cod chatter like before. Have all the vocalists given us this? I feel like it's only... I feel like it was slightly different food. For, Pink and Healer. Ah, Leon. Owing to Lord Emmerich's swift action, I am pleased to say that the Ecumenical Council will soon be held. Apparently you don't say the E at the beginning. In case you are unaware, the Council is the highest assembly in the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Its purpose to deliberate and decide upon doctrine. The previous one was held no less than 80 years ago, and 4 archbishops have since come and gone. As such, most Ishgardians know little of it, save that which they have read in the historical record. Traditionally, the archbishop and members of the synod would meet behind closed doors. In light of Bishop Bartanaw's faith, however, this time the doors will be thrown open to the public. Glad to hear it. Indeed, for the first time in history, all men and women of the faith may have may have a hand in shaping the mission and the teachings of the Church. Democratic Church, go figure. It is my hope that you will also join us in this endeavor. Not something commonly heard about, seeing as how most churches base their teachings based on texts written by people that are long gone, and that's it. Deacon Clem, allow me to express our gratitude for your efforts in facilitating the council. We appreciate the difficulty of your position. I merely heed my conscience and my faith, my lord. Acting in Bishop Bartonel's stead, I shall do all within my power to see that the Church may serve the people once more. Where is the Lord Speaker, if I may ask? He stepped outside for a moment, saying that he wished to gather his thoughts ahead of the council. The hour draws nigh, however. Leon, I shall proceed to the vault with the good deacon. In the meantime, may I ask you to find Lord Emmerich? He should be at the last vigil, I believe. Alright, Arturel, I'm on it. Red, white, and blue. This dude knew how to celebrate 4th of July, didn't he? That's good. You know what? It takes too long to get there. I was gonna play the full... just the beginning part of the full track for this. Because near the beginning the guy's like, look at the top of his head! As he's like laughing. That takes too long to get there though. I'm not gonna sit here for like almost a minute. Not this crap again. Oh, there he is. That was easy. The fuck, they make such a big search area for if he's right there, like in plain sight. What's up, dude? Oh, 'tis you, my friend. Is it time already? Yep, it's time. I see. My apologies for making you come and fetch me. I have been thinking, Leon, on the path I have chosen to walk, and on those who have been left behind as a consequence of my actions. Those who died fighting, those burdened with boundless grief, those deprived of position and purpose. Like any nation, Ishgard is made up of disparate souls with disparate beliefs. Without an enemy to unite us, we recall the differences we once set aside out of necessity, and find amongst our old friends new ideological foes. Unfortunately. We do tend to do that when we have a lot of baggage with us, yeah. The future I had envisioned is far more difficult to secure than I ever imagined. What must I do for our people to live in harmony? For our nation to move forward as one? Such questions I have been pondering. We should begin making our way to the council. Shall we continue our conversation while we walk? I'd love to. Go for it. Ready? Then let us be off. If it is agreeable, I would like to look on Fort Tom Manor. Okay. Though we haven't much time, I am glad for the opportunity to stroll about the city with you. Of course. Still the same... Still simps as much for the Warrior of Light as always, right? But during Heavensward, like post Heavensward, holy shit. He invites you to dinner and everything. The dude was mad, like, for you. Feels like another age that you and yours were no more than foreign wards of House Fortom, and in actual fact, it may be considered so. Actually, yeah, you're right. Another age was just a short while ago, yeah. For your coming set in motion a chain of events that brought an end to the Dragonsong War, ushering in a new age of harmony. I guess technically in that respect you can give thanks to Lolorito and Telegiadeleji for what they did. Because otherwise we never would have come here. Well, maybe sooner or later we probably would have, but still. You paved the way for meaningful change in our nation, and for that you shall ever have my gratitude. Now then, shall we continue on to the architects? Okay, same thing. Robocop's still there. Yep. Helmetless Robocop. Standing guard with his gun out. King Thornton and his Knights 12, the murderers of Ratatoskr. Since the truth of their ancient crime came to light, many have demanded that these images be torn down. Yet, though what our founding fathers did was wrong, neither is it right to simply expunge them and their deeds from history. To do so would be to deny our people's part in what followed for 1,000 years. We have the chance to forge a new future, but we as a nation must decide how we will confront our past. Forgive me, I was lost in thought yet again. Let us join Deacon Clem at the vault. There you are, my friends. The council is about to convene. Let us take our place in the audience hall. Wow, we all look very somber here. Oh, it is a serious topic of conversation, isn't it? Esteemed members of the clergy and honored adherents of the faith, I thank you all for your attendance. Another big gathering. You keep seeing this kind of thing over and over in the role quests. Always a big gathering. Again, something that, even if Gridania was not quite like that though, something that brings everyone together in some way. In recent days, our nation has been racked by a series of tragedies. Those among us who do Halone's work have been transformed into abominations. This dreadful phenomenon has been brought about by the final days, and it is upon our despair and anguish that it feeds. Thus, if we are to prevent further tragedy, we must strive to ensure that all Ishgardians, clergymen and citizens alike, abide with peace and love for one another in their hearts. To that end, have I called this ecumenical council, the first in generations, that we might together determine a path forward for the Church and our society as a whole. Hey, it's what's his name? Just on the far left. From the, Scholasticate questline, which was Resident Sleeper as hell, but did give us more insight into the Church and the little clergy school. Since antiquity, the Ishgardian Orthodox Church served the people in two respects. As a Fury's spear to strike at the heart of dragonkind, and as a Fury's shield to safeguard the souls of men. But now that we are at peace with the Dravanians, the Church need no longer serve as a spear. And so we must now consider how we might better serve as a shield for our brethren. The hierarchy must be reformed, and for that we need accountability. The upper echelon must be stripped of rank at a minimum, and investigations conducted, trials held, if the evidence is sufficiently damning. And then we may turn our attention to their doctrine of lies. This is going to turn into a heated discussion, or argument. As our predecessors did before us, we of the Synod have ever sought to interpret the scriptures to the best of our ability, and thence conveyed Halone's will to the people. Such fervent pursuit of retribution at the expense of doctrine would come also at the expense of our faith. Tensions are mounting. People shake. Have we won the war to lose our soul? Oh, Helone, are we outside your grace? Suppose ill. At this rate, someone might turn. That's what I was thinking too. That's why my face got all. I was just like, oh no. Since the war's end, the Church and the faithful have stood at a crossroads, unable to take the next step forward. His Grace Bishop Vartanov, may he walk in Helone's halls, was one such soul, and in his longing for simpler times, he resorted to using forbidden magics. He succumbed to despair. In our minds, we renounce the lies upon which our nation was built, but in our hearts, we yearn for the righteousness, misguided though it was, that gave us comfort and purpose for so long. So let us not forget who we were. Let us confront the mistakes of the past and learn from them, that we do not repeat the mistakes of our forefathers. As fervently as we believed in our sacred duty, we struggled to accept the Church's deception and embrace change. The legacy of Thornton weighs heavy, and there is a temptation to simply cast it aside like a mantle that suits us no longer. Yet that would dishonor the sacrifice of those who went before, countless souls who served the people with purest intent. And so, heavy though it may be, let us together bear this burden as we set forth anew. Our friend Leon risked life and limb to reveal the truth to us, the truth that our legends and our scripture were tainted by betrayal, but not wholly corrupted. Thanks for the honorable mention, man. Though the great walls and towering spires of our city may have been built with murder and deception, they rest upon a foundation immutable and true, our devotion to Helone, whom we have worshipped since before our forefathers settled these lands. There you go. That's how you go about reforming this. The Church is a font of practical wisdom, and its teachings guide us in our daily lives. Such things define our faith no less than the lies. We can acknowledge our sins without renouncing our religion. Aye, and without rejecting who we are. Excuse me? Yeah. A comprehensive review of scripture as well as historical literature will be necessary. Revisions, as appropriate, must be made to ensure that the truth of our past is preserved for future generations. With your peerless knowledge of church doctrine, I dare say none is better suited to leading that effort than you. I also expect that many eyes will be required to pore over all the tomes, and I know many idle men and women of faith who would jump at the chance to do Helone's work once more. Now we're getting somewhere. God, I stick out so much with my outfit compared to theirs. That day so very long ago, I had no answer to my father's words. It seems the people had it within them all along. Well, sometimes when you're put on the spot, you can't really think fast enough about stuff like this, you know? In the heat of the moment, it's just not... I just had a random thought. Can you imagine a Lalafell sitting there? One day I gotta do like a playthrough as a Lalafell just to see how different these scenes hit. I only recently started having these thoughts too. Excuse me. I'm just like, dude, what would this scene look like if my character was a Lollipow? You know? I only recently started having those thoughts. I don't know why. I might have to do it myself though. Maybe I'll run into a playthrough on YouTube or Twitch somewhere, somebody doing it with a Lollipow, you know? Somebody playing throughout the entire story of FF14 as a Lollipow. Be interesting to watch. With this, the church and the people have taken their first step towards a brighter future. Indeed. 'Tis well Lord Emmerich interjected when he did. Yes. So, gentlemen, what now? The council went better than I had dared hope. Truly. While the details remain to be decided, it was a resounding success. Your words helped everyone to find common ground. I know not how to thank you. Much credit must go to Leon. In the face of great hardship, never did he hesitate to press on, and our people have not forgotten this. Ah, thanks, man. Indeed. Well do I remember the day you flew into Ishgard upon a dragon's back. In making possible the impossible, you inspired us all. In you, we glimpsed the fury, a vision of courage in the face of uncertainty. Looking to your example, we shall endeavor to bring about change to the Church, for the future of all Ishgardians. There will, of course, still be those souls who've struggled to rise above the mire of despair, but my fellows and I shall be there to take their hand in faith and love. But what is faith if not salvation? There you go, buddy. Now they're on the right track. Well, I had best return to the cathedral. We have much and more to do. Ah, but ere I forget, I have tracked down that which you requested. Some repairs will be necessary, but it will be seen to with all haste. I had tasked the deacon with finding a certain item, you see. A secret weapon, one might say. Given what we know of profane Fafnir, I suspect it will be of great use in our hunt. Once the repairs are complete, we shall be ready to strike. With the church having reached an accord with the people, the risk of more clergymen turning is greatly diminished. We may now focus entirely on the blasphemy. It is time we freed Vaindro from his torment. Rest while you can, Leon, for I dare say the coming battle will demand the best of us. Right on. And yeah, he's right. I'm starting to get a little nervous now because it's almost showtime. The part where I see how familiar I got with this shit in the little time that I had. Ever march heavensward. Yeah, it really was a song. This is the final verse. It's fitting, of course, you know, Dragon Song War, all that. Glad tidings, Leon. Since the Ecumenical Council, not a single soul has turned. Safe in that knowledge, we need only think of how to hunt down the blasphemy. Ah, Leon, you are here too. Excellent. I am pleased to say that the secret weapon is ready. We may now look to dealing with profane Fafnir. Right on. Curious to see what the weapon is. As you will recall, when last we encountered it, it was lying in wait by the Soleil. An instinct driven by its inherited memories, I believe. It seeks to protect that which it most strongly associates with the Archbishop. In all likelihood, 'twas this selfsame motive that compelled it to come to the Holy See. From the skies above, it keeps watch over the Holy Vault. So, basically, I'm glad we revisited that really quick. what he said earlier. These blasphemies, you know, basically when you turn into one of those things, it's akin to summoning a primal, basically, because he said primals retain the memories of their summoners, right? We saw that with Gabu, or Gabu, I think is how it's pronounced. When Titan was summoned and he was saying things that Gabu would say about his parents and all that, right? That's like the blasphemies and the, you know, people turning into those abominations. It's like summoning a primal, essentially, which is in line with what happened in Amarot, right? Creation magic's running amok. Except we turn into them. That's the difference. It's not us summoning them in front of us, but rather we turning into them, or it's like summoning them upon ourselves, like Azael did with Shiva and all that, basically. That's interesting. Yeah, it flows well, yeah, with the lore and everything. In all likelihood, it was the self-same motive that compelled it to come to the Holy See. From the skies above, it keeps watch over the Holy Vault. When next it descends, we shall exploit this instinct by using the secret weapon to lure it to the chancel. What exactly is this secret weapon? It is none other than the Fury's Grace, the holy crozier of the Archbishop. Suspecting that Bishop Bartanah had retrieved it from Azizla, I had Deacon Clem search his private quarters. My suspicions proved correct. With the crozier in hand, I shall make an irresistible bait for profane Fafnir.
What? What the fuck?
My lord, that is an unconscionable risk! There's no telling how the blasphemy will react. Indeed, but we can be confident that I will command his undivided attention. Okay, so he's the tank for the fight. Good. Thus ensuring that no more of our citizens are placed in harm's way. If the Heaven's Ward are the Archbishop's shields, then the Temple Knights are the people's. As leader of the Order, the risk is mine to bear. All the Knights of the Heaven's Ward fell in Azizla. As a vessel for their memories, Vaindro may be considered the last of their number. Let us go then, and relieve him of his name. There, duty. Finally putting them to rest properly. Phew. Let us see to our preparations and proceed to the vault. We finish this once and for all. Nice symbolism there. The camera panning up to that. I like it. When the battle begins, Lord Emmerich and I will draw the Blasphemy's attacks. Seize the opportunity to bring your magic to bear against it. Right. Which again, no real specific reason for why they wanted a battle mage, but yeah. Some of them, it's like they couldn't find a reason for it. They were just like, take it or leave it. Alright, I'll be back because I gotta use the restroom. That seems to be a recurring theme every time I reach the end of one of these quest lines and have to do the quest battle. It's kind of funny. Alright, I'm back. Let's do it, shall we? Oh god. Like last time, I'm gonna look over some of this shit. Not this, I actually studied... Not extensively, but I studied it enough to know what to do. It's gonna fall apart anyway once I actually have to move to escape mechanics, but I'll do my best based on what I learned. But this is, well, you never know. Maybe they'll ask me to do some of this too, so... Lower target's physical damage dealt by 5%, magic damage dealt by 10%. So I'll just use that on cooldown to weaken it a little. So it's basically using Feint, yeah. It's the magic version of Feint. I think I said that before. In a previous video. Sleep. Obviously. Puts targets up, just like light mages or whatever. Healers get that too, I guess. That's, yeah. Cast. This is their knockback, right? Yeah. Most, but not all, yeah. Alright, so very likely I will need... We'll just spend this, and then they might ask me to use sleep, so I don't know where that is. Okay. I doubt it, but they might. And then this for knockback, and then that's the end. Bam, this on cooldown. Well, not so much. It was more for white mage, but for the black mage, not really. Alright, shouldn't be too complicated. It's probably just gonna be like the melee DPS where it's, you know, spamming bullet hell mechanics that I gotta get out of while still casting shit. Oh boy, here we go. Nah, I read that already. Alright, let's go. If you are ready, then let us set forth. You need but say the word. Yes, let us march towards my potential death, because I'm not going to know what the hell I'm doing. I only practiced my rotation like 5-10 times last night, as I was learning it, and then practiced it like 5 times. But that's only one night, and then a little bit this morning, so... The heat of battle is very different from a striking dummy. The beast has come! Now is our chance! Just like his father. There it is. Poetic that he's holding it right now. But for different reasons. Make ready. And we fight him here too, of all places. Harshafon, give us strength. I like that the melee DPS one took place in Sestata too, that was cool. To me, my knights! Hook, line, and sinker, it's here. Blasphemy, profane Fafnir. Not as ugly as some of the other blasphemies, but for the glory of King Thordan. Here we go. No, you are not he. A trick. It is a trick! Forgive me, Sir Vaingro, but for the sake of all his guardians, we must strike you down. Oh Lord, he coming! Alright, here we go. I'm not gonna voice most of what they say because I'm gonna be too focused on trying to stay the fuck alive. I have to target somebody for ethereal manipulation, don't I? I'll test it, but yeah. Nothing else for it. It begins! His Eminence must protect His Eminence. Damn it. divine flame shall consume you. Gotta watch what they're saying. They're Chairbird's magic. Damn it!
You underestimate me.
Wait. I lost it. There we go. Damn! Not fast enough. Well. Again, in the heat of battle, everything kind of falls apart. If you haven't practiced enough times. Okay, I'm good here, actually. I forgot where I was.
Do not underestimate me.
Stay on your guard? No shit. How's he doing? Oh! You bastard! I can't hit my soundboard right now, I'm too busy. Wait. I see him.
We must stand our ground.
How the hell do we stand for this?
You underestimate me.
That's not gonna heal me. I don't know why I did that, but... Oh good, I was wondering if somebody was gonna heal me or not. AoE rotation? Alright. These fiends empower the blasphemy with strike them down first. You don't say. Oh, I meant to use foul. Shit. Oh, we did it anyway. Already here, Emmerich.
I will not falter.
Limit break too. Holy shit. Every role quest battle has one of these, doesn't it? Where you have to take cover with the tank, except for the tank one, obviously. You have to do that one yourself. I ain't gonna move. Oh, I can now, actually. I saw that pattern. That always surprises the shit out of me. I'm not now, you stupid. I can move with this at least. It does work. Wait, where is he? Oh god, I got a little scared there. I was like, am I standing in the wrong spot? I couldn't really tell. Uh-oh. There we go.
This knight does not yield!
Kill him! Kill him now! Oh, Jesus. 4 out of 5. Not bad. So, of course, the one that I'm supposedly most experienced at, being a melee DPS, is the one that I fail on the first try, but not the rest. Maybe it's something subconscious, getting too overconfident, you know? Who knows? Finally, it is over. Yeah, maybe I was too reckless because I was too comfortable with being a melee DPS, and that's why I fucked up. Thus ends the tale of the Heaven's Ward. Let it not be forgotten. 'Twas wrong of them to conceal the truth of our nation's founding, to abet the Archbishop in his machinations. Yet in peering into their hearts, one thing became clear. They too had succumbed to primal manipulation. They too were victims. Flawed men, aye, and not without sin. But as guardians brave and true, as we all aspire to be. Excuse me. Having triumphed in the battle of ideals, I have a responsibility to all our people. Their hopes and dreams, their sorrow and suffering are mine to bear, and bear them I shall. For had you not vanquished King Thordan, or had I erred in but one of my choices, I may well have been the first to succumb to despair, to be reborn a blasphemy. A ridiculous notion. I'm more like to become a beast than you. Thank you, my friend, for having such confidence in me. He has, in all honesty, he has always been the cool, calm, collected type, yeah. But we all have feelings. We can all be broken, no matter how tough any of us think we are. My apologies, it was not my intent to wax sentimental. Our work here is done. Let us return to the congregation. Damn, we never got a third party member. I guess Amandalene got bucked. I guess it's because he's technically still back in Garlemald, right? That's probably why. That was probably also the same reason why Lise didn't appear for the Alamigo one. I heard here as soon as I learned of your victory. There are some few words I would say, but it can wait until Lord Arturel and Deacon Clem have spoken theirs. Gentlemen? Leon, permit me to offer my gratitude for helping us to overcome not only the blasphemy, but the despair which spawned it. But this is only the beginning. On the face of it, we may have made tremendous strides in breaking down ancient barriers within our society, but there yet remain great rifts to be bridged. 'Tis no easy thing to rise above a lifetime of preconceptions and prejudice. I myself have struggled to do so, as you must know. But I shan't give up. On the honor of my house, I will do everything in my power to build a new Ishgard, one in which all people can see eye to eye regardless of birth and station. Now then, I believe the Deacon has some words for you too. Pray lend him an ear. Of course. Much as I appreciate our conversations, I think the Deacon is deserving of your attentions as well. My Lord Leon, may I say how glad I am that you are safe and well? Just before you arrived, Lord Emmerich explained to me the true nature of the man who became the blasphemy. The poor, confused creature was born of the Church's mistakes, and on behalf of the clergy, I give you my heartfelt thanks for laying it to rest. As we work to reform our institutions and rebuild our relationship with the people, we will remember and pray for all those who have fallen in service to the faith. And we shall pray for you as well. Wheresoever your path may lead, may the Fury ever watch over and keep you. I shall leave it at that then. Lord Emmerich too wishes to speak, and 'twould not do to keep him waiting. Emmerich? Leon, Lord Arturel, I thank you for the vital roles you played in ridding us of profane Fafnir. Of course. As ever, the sight of you in combat was nothing short of inspiring. Thanks. I'm not sure other caster players would say that, but thanks all the same. With no further reported instances of people turning into blasphemy itself no more, I should like to believe we are free of the scourge of despair. My brethren and I shall labor to see that it ever remains so by fighting to dispel the darkness in men's hearts. And I shall fight with you, not only as the Speaker of the House of Lords or the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, but as a man of faith in our God and in our people. Together, let us strive to fill our nation with hope. Leon, by now you will be sick unto death of being thanked, but I must nonetheless express an additional word of gratitude. I don't get sick of it, man. That's fine. Not that I'm fooling myself, but how could I turn down someone being appreciative for something I did for them? Come on. Full oft have you saved our nation, our people. I speak not only of our lives, but our hearts and minds as well. You have given us a great gift, that of opportunity and choice. And if we are to repay you for it, we as a nation must take full advantage of our freedom to dictate a new course forward, into a brighter future. What forward means we may not always agree upon. But as fellow Ishgardians, we shall find a way to rise above our differences and stand united. That is the nation that I will strive to build. This I swear to you. Right on, man. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Leon, given all that you have done for us, I am loath to impose further, but may I trouble you to bear word of our success to our officer in Ratapan? We will of course be sending a report, but there is no substitute for a first-hand account. Our allies would benefit from the additional details you can provide as well. Our thanks again, my friend, and may the Fury speed your way. You too. And yeah, not a problem. I was heading back that way anyway. All these feel-good endings, right? Goodbye for now, Ishgard. Hey, buddy. Been taken care of. Ah, my Lord Leon! By your return, dare I hope that the hunt for the blasphemy was a success? Indeed it was. That you would vanquish the beast comes as little surprise, but that this occasion would serve as impetus for the Church to embark upon a path of reform is incredible. I will share these joyous tidings with our allies without delay. If I may speak candidly, I must confess to being a great admirer of yours. When you have a moment, I should like to hear about some of your adventures. If you would do me the honor. Good thing, man, someday. For the present, however, in my official capacity as the Ishgardian delegate, I offer you my humblest thanks for your immeasurable service to our nation. You're very welcome. Alright. More than fear. More than death, more than loneliness, more than fear. Well, it looks like we're done. Finally done. More than death, more than guilt, more than loss, more than loneliness, more than fear. Well, guess my time with the Black Mage is over now. Until the next expansion, I guess. I don't know, maybe by then I'll have found another caster class that I like a little better and maybe it's a little easier for me. Who knows? So, anything else? Nope. Dialogue doesn't change. Well, whenever the master role quests become available, we now have access to them. We have that prerequisite out of the way now. What do they look like on Medium Plus anyway? Ane Senna. Rabon. Melvid. Ian. And, Emmerich. Felt weird how their names were escaping me for a while after when seeing their portraits. Alright, folks, it's that time of night again. Yeah. I gotta get going. But at least I actually finished exactly at the time I wanted to. So that I can have, like, you know... It's like the perfect, optimal time for me to get ready for bed and go to sleep on time for once, so... I'll probably wake up early enough to do, like, a short early morning stream tomorrow. So that's nice. But yeah, we're all done for now. So, that was the last of the role quests. So tomorrow we continue MSQ until new side quests inevitably unlock, which I think will be in Charlian when we see the... We have to explore the second half of, whatever the hell it's called. The area, you know, the overworld area with the monsters and stuff. The only place in Charlian that has it, that basement of theirs. We're inevitably gonna go there at some point. But, for now, we're going back to the Crystarium first. Return to the Crystarium is our next MSQ, and that'll be tomorrow. Now that we're getting close to starting the second half of this game, I'm starting to get a little nervous. What the hell is gonna happen? I don't know. But anyway, it's for me to ponder while I sleep, I guess. Alright, yeah, that's that, I guess. I guess just from the Black Mage storyline, the caster DPS line, I gleaned that these transformations are not unlike primal summonings, but they're triggered by negative emotions instead of, not too different from Prayer and the negative emotions that conjured Titan by Gabu, but they're not ethereal beings like primals, that's the difference. They're just negative emotions made manifest. Alright, anyway, sorry, I'm still pondering and going in circles in my head. So I'll just leave it at that. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Deathwing Duck, thank you for coming by. Crimson, I know you came by too, even though you didn't say anything in chat, but what you sent me through DMs, I could tell that you came by for a little bit, so thank you too. Crimson Arrival and Deathwing Duck, I appreciate you. And to all of you watching in the future, I appreciate you as well. Thank you for the support across YouTube and Twitch, wherever you choose to watch. And, as always, you know, take care of yourselves, stay safe out there, look after each other, and until next time, please have a good morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. And I'll see you all then. Bye, everyone.